Is Trendspider worth it? No. And I'm basing that no on the fact that I signed up at the elite tier for $80 a month. That is the lowest tier you can do and get access to their strategy tester. That is their automated backtesting software. And that's what I wanted the most. All right. But I found some severe limitations, despite the fact that I spoke very highly of it the last couple of videos I've done. I did a little deeper dive and I've had some, I've been pondering its limitations. And as a tool, it's kind of fun to play with, but I don't know if it's really providing me accurate data. There's some doubts I have seen cast upon it. Now, I will say again, this is based on me wanting the automated backtesting. If you also want the market scanner and the alerts that come with this tool, then maybe you'll find more value in it. But I already have Thinkorswim. That is the platform I use. So I don't really need I can do all that stuff in Thinkorswim. What I need is good automated backtesting software, and I'm not really finding that with the Trendspider. It was fun to mess around with. I thought I got some really good insights into my 9 EMA VWAP cross strategy, but then I was looking at the inputs, the entries, and they're kind of weird. Like, if you saw my last couple of videos, you'll know that I was like going on about how, wow, my short entry is really profitable, but only when I go in the long direction, despite it being a short entry. Well, part of the reason is because it takes weird things as a short entry. So I'm actually going to show you an example. So it consists, so a lot of those entries were based on this sort of cross. So this cross happens right here when a day ends and the next day begins. I never get any kind of, I can't trigger a trade on this cross because that's not a true cross. This cross is developing because of the different days, one day ending and one day starting, and the vast differences. That gap up is causing this, what looks like a cross between the 9 EMA and the VWAP. But it's not real. It's not based on anything. That doesn't exist. So I can't set up my robot to trade for that. I can't, I mean, I could try to put it in order at the beginning of market open, but I'm not going to get in at that price. It's not a real entry. But Trendspider is calling that a real entry. And it's calculating things based on that. For this, it would be a cross down. And this is why my cross downs end up being so profitable the long direction, is because, look, this is technically going underneath. It's crossing underneath the VWAP. And that would be a short entry, but it's profitable in the long direction because it's a gap up. Hopefully that makes sense. But this isn't a real cross down. The cross down I want to see is happening during the day. And originally I thought that's what I was testing, but that's not what's happening. Because there's a limitation here. You can't say, hey, don't enter if it's at the beginning of market open. If I had like a little condition here where I could say, don't do it at market open or whatever, then it wouldn't count that, probably, hopefully. And I would see a more accurate representation of what my strategy is. But that's not what's happening. So already that's a big no-no. That calls into question like every result I had, every way that I've adjusted my strategy based on these findings. That's not a real entry. All right. And there's some more little annoying things, like they really should have an exit entry conditions. Like maybe I want to enter at the market open. So I explicitly want to buy a certain number of shares at market open. Or exit. There's no way to just exit as soon as the market has closed for the day. Like, what if I want to test a strategy that automatically exits like just before? And I feel like those are some basic things that they should have. There's also no good way of testing a bounce. So if you're doing a VWAP bounce or a bounce off any other moving average, there's no good way to test it as far as I've tried. I've tried to kind of work around and done like, okay, if it drops a certain way, it crosses here and crosses back, but it's not a really good, accurate representation. So maybe there's a way, and hey, if somebody from Trendspider sees this video and wants to correct me, please do. But the final thing that really kind of made me go about this is I was trying to learn more about how to use the strategy tester on YouTube, and I came across one of Trendspider's own videos from 3 years ago talking about how they don't have multi-time frame strategies. Like these conditionals, I can't do on different time frames. So I couldn't say test, okay, well, if the histogram, the MACD histogram is positive at 1 hour, and it's also positive at 30 minutes, and it's also positive at 15 minutes, blah, blah, blah. You can't do those multi-time frame conditionals. And in the video, he's like, the person who said, oh, we're going to have that soon. You can't do that yet. We're going to have it soon. That was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. So it's like, okay, well, why don't you have it yet? So I don't know. I cannot recommend this tool, especially as automated back testing. I'm going to try some other Now I will, let me throw out there that I'm still on a free trial. I did a 7-day free trial. I'm still on that. So I haven't actually paid the $80 for the month yet. But I'm not going to continue, and I'm not going to pay that $80, even though they're cutting it in half. I actually got a deal, so I'd only pay $40, but I don't even think it's worth that because I can't trust the results. I thought I was finding gold. There's no gold here. So I'm going to try some other maybe that's why people say automated back testing is just not worth it. And you should do manual, put the time in, and I may do that so I can properly test. I need to find a good bit of software for manual back testing because unfortunately manual back testing in Thinkorswim is just awful. So if you can think of a good tool for manual back testing, let me know because I can't trust anything here. So is Trendspider worth it? Based on purely their back testing software tools, I have to say no. So sorry. So hey, Trendspider, if you're watching this, step up your game or hire me. I am a UX designer and developer. I can and have a long career of improving your product. Hire me because I can certainly make this a hell of a lot better. But in any case, thanks so much for watching and good luck out there. Time to move on to something else.